Have you ever been labeled shy or awkward around women, even though you feel a fire burning inside you that says otherwise? What if that so-called shyness isn't a weakness but a weapon, a deliberate signal of strength that others simply can't decode? It's not hesitation, it's calculation, a quiet storm brewing beneath the surface that only the sharpest minds can sense. Get ready to shatter the myths, because today we're ripping the mask off a misconception that's been holding back the truth about who you really are. Welcome to Sigma Male Community, where we forge ironclad insights for men who walk their own path, independent, self-reliant, and unbreakable. In this video we're diving headfirst into why Sigma males might seem shy around women. But let's be clear, this isn't about weakness or fear, it's about strategy, power, and a mindset that refuses to bend to anyone's expectations. You're not here to follow the crowd, you're here to master yourself, and by the end of this, you'll see how what the world calls shyness is actually your edge. 1. The strategic silence sonar. Sigma males don't waste words. They wield silence like a sonar, pulsing through the chaos of social noise to map the unseen. Every pause is a deliberate scan, picking up the faint echoes of truth in a woman's glance, her tone, the way she shifts her weight when she speaks. While others scramble to fill the air with meaningless chatter, the Sigma stands still, gathering intel that reveals who's genuine and who's just playing a part. This isn't about freezing up, it's about seeing through the haze with a clarity that cuts like a blade. Picture yourself at a bar, the kind where the music's too loud and the conversations are all surface. A woman approaches, tossing out a flirty line, expecting you to jump at the bait. You don't. You hold your ground, quiet, watching her eyes flicker with uncertainty as she wonders why you're not dancing to her tune. That silence isn't empty, it's a signal bouncing back data. Is she worth your time? Stoic wisdom tells us to value understanding over impulse, and that's exactly what you're doing, reading the room while others stumble blind. The world misreads this as shyness because it doesn't fit their script. They expect loud bravado, a performance to prove you're in the game. But you're not playing their game, you're rewriting the rules. Your silence forces her to step up, to reveal more, to meet you on your terms. It's not passivity, it's power, a refusal to spill your energy on autopilot responses when you can hold the reins of the moment instead. This strategic silence is your edge in a world obsessed with noise. It's how you stay one step ahead, how you maintain control without saying a word. The Sigma male knows that real strength doesn't shout. It observes, it calculates, and it strikes when the time is right. What they call shyness is just your sonar pinging the depths, finding the signal in the static. 2. The validation immunity. Sigma males don't fish for compliments or bend over backwards for a nod of approval. Their worth isn't tied to anyone's opinion, least of all a woman's. When you don't light up with charm or rush to impress, it's not because you're unsure, it's because you're untouchable. Your confidence is a fortress, built from years of self-reliance, not a house of cards waiting for her applause to hold it up. This isn't arrogance, it's a quiet certainty that radiates without needing a spotlight. Imagine a date where she's used to guys tripping over themselves to win her over. Jokes, stories, peacocking for her laughter. You sit there, calm, asking questions instead of performing, letting her talk while you weigh her words. She might squirm, wondering why you're not chasing her validation, but that's the point. You don't need it. Stoic resilience teaches us to find peace in our own judgment, and for you, her smile is a bonus, not a lifeline. Science backs this up. Studies show women often distrust men who try too hard, sensing a desperation that reeks of insecurity. Your stillness, your refusal to grovel, flips the script. It's magnetic because it's rare. A man who doesn't need her to feel whole is a man she can't figure out. That so-called shyness she sees? It's just your immunity to the validation trap, a strength she'll feel even if she can't name it. For the Sigma male, external praise is a fleeting wind, nice when it blows, irrelevant when it doesn't. You're not here to beg for scraps of attention, you're here to live on your terms. That quiet demeanor isn't a flaw, it's a crown, a sign you've mastered yourself when others are still slaves to approval. Let them call it shyness, you know it's freedom. 3. The depth detector. Sigma males don't swim in shallow waters. Small talk, fake laughs, and glittery facades make your skin crawl. You're wired for depth, for conversations that spark something real, ideas that challenge, emotions that cut, authenticity that sticks. When you go quiet around a woman throwing out surface-level bait, it's not because you're lost, It's because you're searching for a signal worth responding to. Superficiality isn't just boring, it's a waste of your soul's bandwidth. Think of a party where she's rattling off her Instagram stats or dropping names to impress. You nod, but your mind's already checked out, scanning for something, anything, with weight. Maybe she mentions a book that hit her hard, or a quiet fear she's never told anyone, and suddenly you're back, engaged because there's meat on the bone. Stoic rationality demands we focus on what matters, and for you, that's substance over sparkle every time. People misjudge this as shyness because they're addicted to the shallow end. They think if you're not splashing around, you must be scared to swim. Wrong. You're just not diving into a puddle when you're built for the ocean. Your silence is a filter, a detector that pings when it finds depth and goes dark when it doesn't. It's not about fear, it's about standards that most can't meet. In a culture drowning in fluff, this makes you a rare breed. You're not here to waste breath on empty exchanges, you're here to connect with what's real or not at all. That quiet pullback isn't a retreat, it's a verdict. The Sigma male's depth detector is always on, and what they call shyness is just your refusal to settle for less than the truth. For the emotional architect, Sigma males don't slap together connections like cheap furniture. They craft them like monuments, brick by deliberate brick. You're not cold when you hold back, you're calculated, laying a foundation that can stand the test of time. Instant intimacy, spilling your guts or faking vulnerability to seem deep, feels like a con to you, and you'd rather build slow than build weak. This isn't about fear of opening up, it's about knowing trust isn't a sprint. Picture a woman pushing for your life story 5 minutes in, expecting you to crack open your chest and hand her your heart. You deflect, ask her something instead, watch how she answers. You're not dodging her, you're designing something real, testing the ground before you pour the concrete. Stoic patience reminds us that what lasts isn't rushed, and you live that truth in every measured word. She might read this as shyness, maybe even distance, because most guys are all fireworks and no structure. Bright for a second, gone the next. Not you. Studies show slow-built bonds outlast the oversharing frenzy, and you've known that instinctively forever. Your silence isn't a wall, it's a scaffold holding space for something worth keeping. The Sigma male is an emotional architect because he values what's solid over what's flashy. You're not here to impress with a quick sob story, you're here to create a connection that doesn't crumble. That quiet, steady pace? It's the mark of a man who builds with purpose, not a boy who fumbles in the dark. Call it shyness if they want, you call it mastery. 5. The detachment domino. Sigma males don't cling, they cut loose, and they do it clean. If the vibe's off, if she's playing games or draining your energy, you're gone. No apologies, no second guessing. This isn't pettiness. It's principle, a line in the sand that says your peace is non-negotiable. You've got the power to walk away because you know your worth doesn't hinge on her staying. Imagine she's dangling hints, expecting you to chase. Maybe a coy text, maybe a cold shoulder to test your hunger. You don't bite. You let the silence stretch, then vanish, leaving her wondering what just hit her. Stoic resilience means accepting what you can't control, her actions, and owning what you can, your exit. That detachment sets off a domino effect. She feels the weight of losing something rare. Evolutionary psychology calls this a power play. Walking away from value screams abundance, and women feel that on a primal level. They're wired to chase what doesn't grovel, and your quiet departure is a neon sign that you're not desperate. She might call it shyness, think you're too scared to fight for her, but it's the opposite. You're too strong to beg. For the Sigma male, detachment isn't a tantrum, it's a strategy. You're not here to waste time on half-hearted connections. You're here to live free and full. That silent exit isn't weakness. It's a chain reaction of self-respect that shifts the game in your favor. One move and the dominoes fall, proving you're the one in control. If you're tuned into Sigma male community, this isn't some abstract lecture. It's the code you live by every damn day. That itch you get in loud, fake crowds? It's not nerves, it's your gut telling you to ditch the circus. They slap shy on you because they can't handle a man who doesn't perform for their claps. But you're not here to entertain crickets. You're a lion, and your silence roars louder than their noise ever will. 6. The micro-calibration matrix. Sigma males don't freeze, they process, and they do it fast. When you're quiet, your brain's a machine running split-second diagnostics on her every move. Is that laugh real? Is she leaning in or just fishing? This isn't paralysis. It's precision, a mental grid that maps intent before you commit a single word. You're not stalling, you're calibrating. Step into a coffee shop scene. She's talking and you're listening, not just to her words but the subtext. You catch the flicker in her eye when she mentions her ex, the way her voice tightens on certain topics. Others see you pause and think you're lost for words, but you're not. You're building a profile, deciding if she's worth the next move. Stoic rational thinking demands clarity, and you're a master at finding it. Harvard research ties this to leadership smarts. Quick social reads mean you're not just reacting, you're steering. She might assume you're shy because you're not blurting out every thought, but that's their mistake. Your silence is a matrix, a live-feed analysis that keeps you ahead of the curve. It's not doubt, it's data, and you're the one crunching it. The Sigma male's micro-calibration is why you don't trip over yourself. You don't have to. You're not here to guess or grope in the dark. You're here to know, to act when it counts. That quiet moment isn't a glitch. It's a superpower, a tool most can't even see, let alone wield. Call it shyness? Nah, it's your mind outpacing theirs. 7. The intimacy saboteur alert. Sigma males smell a trap a mile off. Emotional leeches don't get past the gate. She overshares too fast, fishing for pity, or lays on thick flattery to hook you. Your radar pings and you're out. This isn't about being cold, it's about guarding your core from anyone who'd bleed it dry. You've got no time for saboteurs. Think of that woman who drops her whole trauma playlist on you, expecting you to play therapist, or worse, savior. You don't flinch, don't nod along, you just let the silence sit heavy. Psychologists say Sigma spot manipulation in the tiniest cues, fake tears, forced giggles, and you're living proof. Stoic emotional control means protecting your peace, and you do it like a damn sentinel. She might tag your pullback as shyness, think you're scared to get close, but that's her missing the point. You're not running, you're rejecting the script where you're the prop in her drama. Your silence is a shield, a hard no to anyone who'd exploit your depth for their gain. It's not fear, it's a lockdown on your soul's borders. The Sigma male's alert system keeps the fakes at bay because you value real connection too much to let it get hijacked. You're not here to fix her or feed her ego, you're here to stand whole. That quiet disengage? It's your strength saying, not today, not ever. Shyness doesn't even touch what you're doing, it's pure, unapologetic power. 8. The mystery economy. Sigma males don't spill their guts, they trade secrets like rare coins one at a time. You don't tell her your whole story because why would you? Less is more, and neuroscience proves it. Mystery jacks up her curiosity, keeps her guessing, keeps her hooked. Your silence isn't a blank, it's a vault and she's dying to crack it. Imagine a late-night chat, she's asking about your past and you give her a sliver, a half smile, then nothing. She leans in, digging for more because you've just turned yourself into a puzzle she needs to solve. Stoic restraint teaches us to guard what's precious, and you've made your inner world a damn treasure chest. Every unanswered question is a hook sinking deeper. Most guys overshare, cheapening their stock with every word, but not you. Your silence builds value. She's used to men laying it all out, desperate to be seen while you sit back, letting her imagination run wild. That shy label? It's just her frustration at not having the key yet. You're not hiding, you're investing, and she's the one paying the price to get in. The Sigma male runs a mystery economy because he knows power lies in what's withheld, not what's given away. You're not here to be an open book, you're here to be a legend, a story she'll chase. That quiet edge isn't a flaw, it's your currency and it's worth more than gold. Keep them guessing, it's how you win. 9. The energy accountant. Sigma males don't squander, they budget, and your energy's the tightest ledger in town. Small talk that goes nowhere, emotional drains with no payoff? You're not signing that check. When you shut down a convo that's bleeding you dry, it's not rudeness, it's a cold, hard calculation. You've got better things to spend yourself on. Picture a networking event, everyone's buzzing, swapping hollow, how you doings, and you're just done. You nod, step back, let the chatter fade because Stanford studies say it's true. Empty socializing taxes sharp minds like yours. Stoic wisdom tells us to guard our resources, and you're a master at cutting losses. That exit isn't shy, it's you balancing the books. She might think you're standoffish, too timid to mingle, but she's dead wrong. You're just not in the red for anyone. You'll talk when there's profit in it. A real spark, a shared fire, something that pays back in meaning. Your silence is a ledger closing, a refusal to let your energy dip into debt. It's not retreat, it's ruthless efficiency. The Sigma male's energy accounting keeps you sharp when others burn out. You're not here to throw your focus into every passing wind, you're here to thrive, to channel what you've got into what matters. That quiet pullback? It's your strength saying, I'm not broke and I'm not breaking. Shyness doesn't touch this, it's pure fiscal control. 10. The boundary fortress. Sigma males don't flirt, they negotiate entry and your walls are ironclad. A smile's a checkpoint, a laugh's a passcode, nothing's free and nothing's rushed. When you don't melt at her first wink, it's not because you're nervous, it's because she hasn't earned the drawbridge yet. You're a fortress, not a welcome mat. Think of her testing the gates, maybe a playful jab, maybe a push to see if you'll fold. You don't. You hold steady, letting her figure out the rules, respect or nothing. Stoic self-discipline means your inner world's a kingdom, and you don't hand out keys to anyone who knocks. That measured warmth she calls shyness? It's just your border patrol doing its job. Women feel the weight of this, they're used to guys swinging the doors wide, begging for a glance. Not you. Cross the line, entitlement, clinginess, and the gates slam shut, no explanation needed. It's not fear, it's sovereignty, a quiet strength that says you don't bend for anyone who doesn't get it. The Sigma male's boundary fortress is why you stand out. You're not here to be stormed, you're here to be respected. Your silence is the moat, the walls, the whole damn defense system. Call it shyness if they want, but it's a power most can't breach. Access is a privilege, and you're the one who decides who's worthy. 11. The shyness decoy. Sigma males don't hide, they cloak, and what looks like shyness is your stealth suit. While others strut and shout for attention, you fade into the shadows, letting them underestimate you. Your silence isn't a dodge, it's a decoy, a trap that pulls them in. She's probing, chasing the enigma, and you're 3 moves ahead. Step into her world, she's teasing, fishing for a reaction, and you just smirk, giving her nothing but space to wonder. She's investing, leaning closer because your quiet isn't weak, it's a hook, reeling her in with every blank she can't fill. Stoic restraint says power's in holding back, and you've turned that into an art. She's hunting you now. The world tags this as shyness because they're blind to the game. You're not scared, you're strategic. They flaunt, you conceal, and that contrast makes you a ghost in their noise. She's spinning stories in her head about who you are, and you let her, knowing her imagination's doing the work. It's not retreat, it's bait, and she's already caught. For the Sigma male, the shyness decoy is your ace. It's how you flip the script, staying untouchable while they scramble. You're not here to prove anything, you're here to win without lifting a finger. That silent armor? It's your strength, your edge, your victory. Let them guess, you've already got the crown. So there it is, the truth laid bare. What they call shyness in Sigma males is a masterclass in strategy, a fortress of self-mastery, a quiet rebellion against a world that begs for noise. You're not weak, you're a force, a man who's learned to wield silence like a blade, cutting through the chaos to carve your own path. Every point we've unpacked today is a brick in the wall of your independence, a testament to the power of living true, unswayed by the crowd's petty games. At Sigma Male Community, we're not just a channel, we're your brothers in arms, delivering the raw, unfiltered wisdom you need to rise above, to sharpen your mind, and to own your life with stoic steel. If this hit you where it counts, don't just sit there. Smash that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and share this with the men who need to hear it most. You're already subscribed? Good. Turn on those notifications because we're dropping fire like this every week, and you don't want to miss a single shot. Reflect on this, live it, breathe it, because you're not just watching a video, you're forging a legacy. Until next time, stay sharp, stay sovereign, and keep ruling the shadows like the Sigma you were born to be.